What's up, everyone? My name's Sayer. I got my name Sayer from my graffiti background. Been tattooing for about 22 years now in this industry, and today I'm gonna give you a little insight all about me.
How long have you been tattooing for?
22 years. I started when I was 16, 38 now, so it makes about a little over 22 years now.
Say, hells yeah. We're looking forward to hearing your story, bro.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you being here, bro.
Thank you,
man.
And where are we at today?
Today we're in the city of Buena Park at Ches Bippy Tattoo Studio.
The world famous Ches Bippy.
Ches Bippy.
There's a little backstory to this tattoo.
Yeah, it's actually from a Bronx Tale. It's a movie of Bronx Tale, and it's the spot where all the guys hung out, you know? So that's, I mean, in a couple hours, you know, the guys will show up and the shop will come to life, you know? It's pretty cool. It's a good vibe here.
How long have you been at this location?
This location, I've been here about a year now. Actually, that'll be about a year. But before that, I was kind of all over, mainly like San Gabriel Valley. But this is like my first time actually tattooing in OC. And so far, so good.
What are we working on today, bro?
Today, we're working on a Virgin Mary with some rosary beads and some flowers, which we're going to throw on the arm from the elbow to the top of the shoulder. Yeah, right now I'm using this app called Photo Editor, which helps out a lot with my stencils. Usually I kind of mess with the contrast a lot, brighten it. And one thing that's good with this is I like to sharpen it so my stencil comes out perfect. But the good thing when you sharpen, it doesn't get pixelated. So it just gets even better, like all your little spots that you won't see, like as, what would you call that? Little shadows, they sharpen up a lot and it helps get your pieces detailed, your stencils detailed. To say like usually like this part would be kind of hard when you're when your stencil's printed out, but as you sharpen, it just makes spots darker. And just gives you a nice sharpened stencil.
Nice, look at that, already putting people on game.
All right, straight up. That's how it originally was. It's kind of dark. You could print it out like that, but it's gonna be, your stencil's gonna come out too dark on paper. And then when I edit it, everything is there.
Sick.
All right.
So this is the way that you set up your placement for your like stencil?
Yes. Yeah, just so it's kind of accurate, so I don't have to keep resizing. Once I print out the stencils. So check it out. Right now I'm using Procreate. I always take a picture of my client's arm or placement. I upload it to Procreate, and then I'll add a photo to it, whatever the artwork's gonna be. So right now I just kind of erase some background, and then now I'm gonna kind of stretch it out. So as it looks right there, it looks pretty good. But now I'll just freeform it, widen it up, maybe drop it a little. Boom. Kind of save that. Share PSD. So now, after I save the image, I will kind of just erase some of the areas where it wouldn't be on the actual arm, just to give them a better look of how the tattoo would look like on them. There you go.
Nice.
So now,
It's a big piece.
yeah, man. Yeah, this piece right here. This piece right here. It's 2 full days. So I don't charge by the time. I just kind of go by how big of the area is. So with this being said, this piece will probably take me about maybe 6 hours at the most.
Okay.
Yeah, before doing a piece like this would take me like 12 hours, maybe 15 hours at times. But just through my years of experience of tattooing, I'm pretty quick now, efficient, and get the job done right.
Yeah. So you only do full day sessions by
do.
appointment?
Yes, by appointment only. Just makes things easier instead of having someone just pop up and kind of get scrambled. I want to kind of throw off the time with my clients. I like to give them my full time and full attention on their piece.
And how long have you been using the iPad now to make your stencils?
iPad. Let's say, okay. I probably bought the iPad maybe like 2018. I probably didn't use it till like maybe 2021, 2020. I used to use the actual computer, use Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
So I used to print off of there and edit everything on there. But then I couldn't take the computer with me, you know what I mean? So I had to kind of figure it out how to use it on here. And I found the right apps to do the right things to make me a good stencil. And so I say the past 5 years I've been using my iPad.
Makes it easier.
Way easier, man. Convenient. You don't have to keep your clients waiting for so damn long doing hand stencils, But yeah, very convenient, man. Less time of breaking your hand and getting it cramped up when you're trying to do those hand stencils. Because I would spend like at least, I would say maybe about like an hour, because I always try to perfect my stencil when I was doing it by hand. But yeah, it just makes things so much easier now.
So where are you originally from?
I'm originally from East L.A. Grew up in East L.A. And then after one of my own 18, moved to San Gabriel Valley. And pretty much spent like half my life out there.
How was your upbringing in East L.A.?
It was a little wild, I was a little wild child. But
Actually, what high school did you go to?
high school, I went to Montebello High School, my 9th grade year. Got kicked out pretty early. And then after that, it was all SEYER charter schools, so probation schools, So I went to SEYER Montebello, SEYER Federally, and a lot of juvenile hall school,
So you were a troublemaker.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was a good kid, bro, but yeah, did I make some wrong choices here and there? Yeah. But I don't regret nothing, you know what I mean? Everything that I've been through made me who I am today.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of graffiti since I was 13, a lot of juvenile hall, a lot of getting my house raided, a lot of nonsense, a lot of anxiety, you know what I mean? But with all that being said, not even knowing it, getting into tattooing at 16, it just kind of changed my whole life. I fell in love with it before this whole thing blew up, you know what I mean? So it wasn't something I just caught my eye, like, oh, I could, gain off of this and that. Like, nah, like it's just something for the love and passion of art that I really liked and I adored and just kept pushing it, man, You could say, graffiti saved my life, If it wasn't for that, shit, I wouldn't be here.
So you said that you got introduced to tattooing at 16?
Yes, 16. I was in juvenile hall. I used to draw a lot, letters, things I could send back home. And the kids in there had asked me if I tattooed, which I didn't, but I did take it into consideration. And once I got out, made myself a little homemade machine and fell in love with it, So I was tattooing people from school, the staff from school. By 18, I had asked for apprenticeship. I got my foot in the door with the homie Mario Kermit. And it didn't follow through on his end, but I just say his boss took me in, and I apprenticed for 2 weeks. Apprenticed for 2 weeks, and since I've been tattooing since 16, my work was pretty decent. So he gave me the green light to go ahead and just start tattooing,
So a 2-week apprenticeship, and then boom.
Yeah, boom. He just gave me the green light, and I was tattooing everything and anything that came through that door.
At 16, you got your first machine. Like, what was it? A coil machine, or at that time were rotaries around?
Well, like I said, I made a homemade machine, which consisted of a Walkman motor, guitar string, a whole little get down. But then I saved up a little money, and I'm going to TCM, Worldwide Tattoo Supply and City of Industry, and I got myself like a little $100, maybe $150 tattoo kit and a professional kit, and took it home, tried to learn it. I mean, it took me a while to kind of get it together because there was no instructions with it. It was for professionals only, right? But I ran with it, and just after a while, I learned how to set it up properly. I was running needles. I was running the machine with no rubber bands at times, so I don't know what the hell I was doing, but it was putting ink in the skin, and I enjoyed the whole craft of it, and just kept running with it, bro. There it is. It's change. It's money.
So you already have kind of an idea how to print out the size?
Yeah, yeah. So I have these large papers. So this is considered like a 2 full days, The regular size 11 by 8-inch paper, that's a full day. But yeah, watch. Come here real quick. I'll show you.
Yeah, because I've always wondered how some artists like size up their stencils when they print it out.
Yeah, like with, how was it with what's that program again? Photoshop. Photoshop, you could give measurements, and you could kind of like take a measurement of their arm, size it up, put it on fuck, you forgetting that program?
Procreate?
Yeah, Procreate. No, not Procreate. Photoshop.
Oh, Photoshop.
And then, bam, you could print it out perfectly. But this one, I kind of had to eyeball it. But just me doing it so much, I already kind of know the sizes of how to print it. All right, stand straight. There you go, right there. Yeah. Perfect. That's good.
So what do you use to apply your stencil?
I use I'll say it, secret sauce. It's my own product. It helps out giving you a nice, darker, longer lasting stencil. It also works for the thermal printer and for the inkjet stencil printer solution. A lot of other products, they'll just if you use, like, say, the printer, it'll come off easily or it'll come out light, but this is universal, so it works for both. And like I said, guaranteed, if you put it on properly, it'll lock your stencil in like solid. It's kind of hard to get off at times,
It's crazy how I told you off camera. A lot of the artists that I've interviewed, they use your product.
And I'm grateful for that, man. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. I'm trying my best to get it out there, and just really appreciate you guys supporting. That means a lot. Like, thank you guys.
How'd you come up with the idea of starting your own product?
In the industry, a lot of people used to make their own, like speed stick, aloe vera, glycerin, different things, But the way I made it, a lot of the guys at the shop, they liked it, so I just made a big batch for everyone, But at the time, one of my homie, Hector, Tats 909, he was like, "Hey, bro, like, why don't you go and try to like make it into like a company or a business?" Which I was like, "Damn, how am I gonna do that?" But he had a chemist because he was working on a product as well, and he linked me up with this chemist. We kind of changed things around, changed it from being a speed stick mint green. We changed the color, we changed the smell, and from there, I just put a label on it, and I was just selling it, but not even knowing it would be that good. This chemist ended up kind of like falling off, which I had to link up with another chemist out of New Mexico, and she helped me a lot. So she was like, "You know what? We're not gonna do the whole speed stick process. We're gonna make it organic. We're gonna make it from scratch." And it took about 10 months to get this new formula. So it was a lot of samples coming in, back and forth, too much lavender, too much of certain things where it just wasn't working properly. And finally, after that 10th month, it came into place. I told her, let's seal it. That's good right there. Just, I need that certain smell. I need a certain color. And we locked it in. And since then, it's just been a hit,
And you decided to name it SEYER, like your name?
Actually, my homie Tats, he's the one who kind of just told me, like, "Hey, bro, I want you to name it SEYER." I was like, because I don't speak too much Spanish, but he's like, that means it's the sealer, the seal. And I was like, oh, shit, kind of makes sense with, my name, SEYER, and to have it SEYER, And with the color of it, so the secret sauce, when I used to make it with the batch with the speed stick, when we changed the color, it came out like a Thousand Island dress, you know. So I thought of, oh, maybe make it, I'll say, or secret sauce, you know. And yeah, just ran with it since then, bro. And it's been going pretty well.
Also, if people want to get your product, how do they get in contact with you?
You could follow my Instagram or on my link on my Instagram at SEYER_tattoo, TATTOO. On my bio, I have the website, or you can look it up, alsayadorssecretsauce.com. And I have my products on there. I have shirts. I have my Pro Glide as well, which is my other product. And like I say, you know, like this is made by artists, trusted by artists. It has like onycha in it, so as you're tattooing, it helps with the redness. It reduces the redness, helps saturate your tattoo, especially at the end when you do your white highlights. I like to, after I'm done tattooing, I like to put a good amount on, let it sit on the skin. I break down, do a whole new setup. By the time I wipe it off, like 20 minutes later, your white highlights are just booming, like they're bright, you know. So it helps with that, and it helps with swelling. And it's not too thick, it's not too thin, so it's not going to run off your glove, or it's not going to get stuck in your needles too much. It's the perfect consistency to help your tattoo process out.
Since I seen your product in a lot of artists' hands, how do you get your product out there? How do you network?
Mainly it was just through my Instagram, just using it, making videos, trying to make proper videos, trying to make it look good, you know, for social media. All work done by myself, and it's been quite a few years, but it's getting out there. Like now, I do have it on a couple tattoo supplies, like T Pro, Nuclear was having it. I had it at Element Tattoo and Money Cash Tattoo, quite a few places, you know. But they're helping push it out there, and it's a blessing, like I say, man. Like not even knowing that I was really trying to go and push this product or my business, it just happened naturally, I guess, you know. So it's a blessing. And thank you guys again. I appreciate the support, man. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, people speak highly of your product, and they speak highly of you. You know.
Oh, do they? That's cool. Thank you guys, you know, because really I'm not one to put myself out there much like that. But if it's, I mean, since it got out like that, and I appreciate you guys,
Yeah.
you know, that's cool.
Especially
Means a lot.
the homie Johnny Taz.
Johnny Tag, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He mentioned me when I interviewed him. He
Uh-huh.
told me about you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No
because
way.
he said that you guys grew up around the same area.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Eastside Johnny.
Yeah, Eastside
Yeah,
Johnny.
Eastside
Yeah,
Johnny.
yeah,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go. Shout
Yeah,
out to
man.
Eastside
Yeah, you
Johnny.
grew up like
Taz.
2 blocks down from me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, literally here to the corner, you know? Yeah, that's what's up, man. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you, homie.
That was it.
Thank you, dog.
All right, cool. So let's start with the process here.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I'll have you sit up straight. Just stay like that.
My bad, Johnny. I forgot the east side.
That's right, east side. Cool. So here we go. First off, I just got to shake it up pretty well. I put a good amount on.
Looks like honey.
Right. About to take a dab of this shit out there. But yeah. So I put a good amount on. First, it's pretty wet right now. Just relax your. Yeah. Get a free massage. Don't worry.
First one's free.
First one's free. Yeah. So I let the product, the secret sauce, I let the pores absorb it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do apply the stencil, it kind of soaks everything in. But right now, it's like I said, it's a little runny, but my process of my stencils take at least about 5 to 10 minutes. I don't just put it on and pull it back off. Like it takes me a cool little minute to get the right perfect stencil. Yeah, see, now it's getting a little tacky.
Do you provide like instructions, or usually you just inform the artist when they get it?
I mean, I try to make a couple videos, trying to put it out there. I'll have it on my product account on how to apply it properly.
Mm-hmm.
It's really self-explanatory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But there's a certain way that
So an
I
artist
do it.
should already know kind of like how
But
to
everyone
apply
does it
it.
different. I can't be like, oh, this is the right way to do it because for me, this is the right way to do it.
Yeah.
But everyone has their own opinions on how they put theirs. But I'm just explaining from my best knowledge of how my product works. Because I know
Nice.
sometimes if it's too wet, your stencil will blur. So
Mm.
yeah, so like I'm explaining right here, I put a good amount on. Now it's kind of sticky, it's getting tacky,
Okay.
and right now is like the perfect time to put it on. So here we
Nice.
go. Just relax your arm right now. When I put it on, don't move, just stay still. And like I said, it takes me a cool minute. Like I apply pressure. I let the secret sauce absorb all the carbon from the paper. Because you got to remember when you're doing this, you can't just put it on and peel it off. This is your canvas. You're going to be on this piece for quite a few hours. So you want to make sure it sticks on properly and all that all the carbon absorbs all that from that sauce.
Secret sauce.
Secret sauce, right?
So,
Came out clean, man. No smudges,
Right?
nothing.
It's perfect, bro. As I say, you got to take your time with it. There's no rush.
Boom. Only if it was that easy, huh, man?
Right, you're done. Time to go home. Shit, it's a wrap. All right, just let it dry like 20 minutes. Chill, relax, kick it.
So when you started tattooing, did you have an idea of what kind of tattoos you wanted to do? Or you
Nah,
just...
man, at the time, I was just knocking out anything that came my way, So I was doing a lot of nautical stars, tribal names, LA logos, anything that came my way, man. I mean, I didn't really even have the guidance to like have references like that we do today. Like back then, we used to try to collect it. Collect our artwork and that we seen online, printed out. We used to call it the Bible. So we just put our own artwork together, references. So when anyone came in, it was just like you just show them. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I got this. I want to do this one. But that's just building your own Bible.
That's how it was before, right?
Yeah, man.
Looking
Yeah.
at the wall or the
Trying to
book.
search shit, seeing other people's tattoos, just being influenced by just artwork that was available at the time,
Yeah.
But now it's so much easier to get a hold of, and now everything's kind of AI generated, which I don't consider it a problem or anything. It helps us out, less little stress on our back, and easier for us artists who are consistent tattooing every day. It makes it easier getting our artwork together to show our clients instead of having to try to draw something out and spending at least 12 to 15 hours in the shop, Now
Yeah.
I'm able to just kind of get my artwork together, mix it up, add things to it, make it my own design, and then kind of get in and go home early, Like Gotta spend time with the family.
So when you did your 2 week apprenticeship, what was that like? What because usually an apprenticeship is longer than
Yeah, it
that.
takes 2 years, 3 years. It could take a year.
So
But
they showed you the basics, or
pretty much they just showed me how to be sterile, how to not cross contaminate. And once I kind of got that down, they were just seeing the tattoos that I was pulling in. I was already trying to do portraits, so I was taking on everything that was difficult because it was a challenge. I was already doing a lot of lining. Like I said, I was doing tribal, I was doing these hearts and nautical stars and everything, but it just was more of a challenge to try to. I was getting my people in to just look busy and try to show my boss what I could do, And the guy I was working for, his name was Rafa at Tattoo Angels. He was kind of sick, and at the time, he was just giving me his clients, like as he was dealing with his health issues. He was like, "Hey, I had this person come in," and just I was taking care of everything. So it was pretty much me there at that shop handling and taking care of business for him, But throughout the years, I was always trying to pick up like I am today. I'm still trying to pick up and learn things, I'm a self-taught artist, I think. Did I work with other guys? Yes, I did work with other guys, and we kind of picked each other's brain on how we did things. But I was the youngest one in the shop. But even though I was the youngest one, a lot of these older cats were asking, "Oh, how'd you do this or how'd you do that?" Or you're running you tattooed this with the TCM machine, like, yeah, like. But I knew how to adjust them and maintenance them, and yeah, I was doing pretty good. It just kind of came naturally, and like I said, I'm still learning to this day. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop learning. Like there's a lot of badass artists that I do look up to, but the ones I could say I look up to are the ones that I've worked with, because we all kind of, like I said, picked each other's brain and we helped each other. But,
did you ever think that you would be able to make a career out of this?
at the time, I mean, I didn't even think of it as a career because I was 16 years old, like I didn't even know what I was gonna do in my life, and just being and going through everything that I was going through as a teenager. Like I said, a lot of juvenile hall, a lot of anxiety, a lot of just dealing with shit I was putting myself into. Yes, I got blessed with trying to do tattooing. I took a liking, I loved it, and I just ran with it. Like I said, 18, got into a shop, and still I didn't even know that was gonna be my career. But I came in at the right time. Started at 2004, started tattooing. So about 2006, 2007, it started blowing up little by little. Then that's when it came out like Miami Ink, LA Ink, and I would try to nitpick and see what they're doing on TV and try to make those little adjustments when I was tattooing. So that's how I was kind of picking it up. But at the time, I didn't know it was gonna be a career,
Yeah.
until I hit, let's say, about 20 years old, and it really started blowing up.
During those early years when you were getting started, did you ever have thoughts of maybe just giving up or quitting?
No, like there is some family members who told me, "Oh, go get a regular job," and it was kind of frowned upon a little bit back then. But like I said, my life was kind of harsh when I was younger, but I took a liking to this, and I was a hustler. So with all that being said, I just kept pushing for it. I didn't give up. There's times where I was like, "Damn, like I do need money," but when things came into the shop, I wouldn't let them leave the shop. Any money was good money. Even if I was doing a big piece, fuck it, let's do it for $100. Like I'd rather go home with some money than no money. It's money in my pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, earlier off camera, we kind of talked a little bit of marketing, right? So now you're actually doing something. It's kind of a little new, right?
Yeah, it's new
I've been
to me.
seeing your
Like I
ads
said,
on
like,
Instagram.
Yeah,
So
with these ads, it's new. Normally it's not me to go and try to make content like that or have someone do it for me. But this is a new era we're living in with this tattoo industry, and I somewhat feel like it is a little saturated with artists, but it's who's really gonna make it. So yes, I am paying for these ads, and it does help out. But
how
it's
did
gonna
that
help.
start? How did that happen?
They had reached out to me. The homie Nate Morales. He reached out to me and asked me if he would he would like to help me out, build up my business and make some content. And yeah, I was hesitant for a couple months, and then I was like, you know what? I need to just step my game up and give it a try, see how it goes. You
Yeah.
know, trial and error. You know, but it's going well, and it's only been about a month and a half, maybe 2 months, and so far so good.
And you're getting booked.
Yeah, I'm getting booked.
You're
I'm
getting
getting
booked,
booked,
yeah.
and I am getting those premium prices because I used to do a lot of tattoo specials. I've always done tattoo specials. I mean, I always try to work with people. I always try to let everybody get a piece of the pie. You know what I mean? Like I have clients who were just like, oh my God, if it wasn't for your tattoo special, I would never be able to get this piece done. And when I think of it, I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. You know?
Yeah.
And I know they're grateful and they're thankful for it. And if I could bless someone like that, I don't mind, you know? Like, as long as I stay consistent and I make someone happy at the end of the day, shit, it makes me feel good,
That's dope.
you know?
Let's talk a little bit about your artwork that you have in your wall, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, dang. This was from Dillinger out of Ventura. This one, oh, I forgot her name. She's out in Australia, I believe. This is actually from my apprentice. He made this for me a couple years ago. He does a lot of pinstriping. Made this for me. He made that for me. That one. This is it's by Mike Rios. I bought that one off of Mike Rios. Yeah, there's a bunch of different art up in
Yeah.
here.
Who did this one right here?
What's homeboy's name? Grande?
Alexis.
Alexis.
Oh,
Was it
sick.
Alexis Tattoos or?
Dedicated.
Yeah, dedicated.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick, hard.
Yeah, badass fucking artist.
Yeah, that's cool,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
That was Tommy Montoya.
Oh, damn. That's hard. Thank you.
Man.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, it was for an art show that they had through at the OC tattoo convention last year? January, February? Yeah, in November.
Mm.
And yeah, so that was the piece that they actually gave to them. The
That's
airbrush.
dope.
It was dope, huh? Super dope.
It's almost gonna be a year.
Yeah, crazy, huh? What a trip.
It went by fast.
Super, man.
You've been in the game for a while. What type of advice would you give to someone that wants to get into the industry?
Damn, honestly, if you're really gonna get into it, if you want this, give up your fucking 9 to 5. You know, go full throttle, fucking hit up everyone, get them in. Even if it's a free tattoo, just get them in the chair. You know, expand your art, learn how to tattoo, learn the craft, and don't give up. You know, like at times, yeah, it could be stressful. There are slow seasons. You know, everyone stresses on that, but like I said, it's up to you at the end of the day who you want to be and what kind of artist you want to become. So, with that being said, on myself, like I said, like I got kids I got to feed, I got family at home, I got major bills, so my shit don't stop. I just keep pushing,
Yeah.
pushing, bro.
The tattoo industry has evolved, right? Before it was a lot of just a cash business. What do you do that's different? You're a business owner. Do you have an LLC? Do you
Yes, I do
a-
have an LLC for my name, SEYER Tattoo LLC.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked that question is because a lot of people don't have that type of education, right? Financial
Yeah.
education, right? Because being having your own business as a tattoo artist, it's kind of rare.
Yeah, it is. It blew up and evolved. I didn't even think you could be your own boss. You know what I mean? With the LLC, but it does benefit. Try to blow it up even more, especially with my product. You know, I'm gonna try to evolve it and eventually buy the formula so I could self-produce it myself and maybe get a storefront. You know, but everything's gonna take a little time. But
It's kind of taboo in the tattoo industry, but now you're seeing artists out there who are showing off like expensive cars,
yeah,
investing in
Yeah,
houses
yeah.
and
Being with them, but with-
being more I guess you kind of say smarter with their
Yeah.
money
and
or dumb.
yeah, but I mean, honestly, yeah, that's good that they do that. I mean, I'm not on that level yet,
Yeah.
but with my money, I do invest in my products. I do invest on my equipment. I invest on my advertisements. You know, it's a lot of money that goes towards it, but in the end, it's all worth it. You know, but when it is time and when it's my time,
Yeah.
I would like to do something like that. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Nice.
Branch off and do something different. Like my little other side thing is I like to cook. You know, I like to smoke meats. You know, so pretty soon I'm gonna make another business and maybe I'll do 2 or 3 days tattooing and maybe another 2 or 3 days, out there doing some pop-ups, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just, that's one of my other passions is cooking,
Oh,
and smoking
damn.
meats, bro. So pretty soon. Yeah, ever since I was a kid, that's one thing I did want to do when I grew up, but like I never graduated. So one thing you need and for culinary arts, you need a diploma or at least a GED. But never got that, But just throughout the years, I've always cooked. I've always loved to like smoke meats, and so pretty soon now I'm gonna be doing that. I've had a few pop-ups already, and I've sold out, and they've gone pretty well.
Yeah.
But I want to take it further and kind of take a little break from tattooing, and just.
And it's interesting that you brought that up because I talk to a lot of artists and I meet a lot of artists, a lot of artists that have been in the game already for a while, and they do talk about having other options other than tattooing.
Yeah, I mean that's good, like we put so much time, we strain our eyes, we screw our backs up, like yeah, man, it would be nice, like to try to even have like a retirement plan or plan it out accordingly, like guys, we don't have no benefits, we don't have insurance, we get none of that, but it is available.
Yeah.
But it's just up to us to make those steps to put that in the right place, for our lives.
What kind of machine are you working with?
I'm using a FK Iron EXO. It's a 4.0 stroke.
How long have you been using that machine for?
This machine, I've been using it since 2019. Usually every year, I'll buy a new one just to refresh it up because I put in a good amount of hours on my machines. But yeah, I'll buy one like every year and just sell my old one for like half the price. Get a new one.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just I was about to give up on rotaries,
Really?
back then, yeah, because everything was still new, So when you're trying to try this cartridge and that cartridge, putting it into your rotary machine, it was not consistent. There was a lot of shit coming out. There was a lot of things that just weren't working right, and with this machine, once I tried it, fuck, like, yeah, I just never fucking stopped using it. It's really good with lining, shading. It reminds me of a coil. Just the way it worked. It wasn't too confusing. All the cartridges fit in there perfectly, and it's my baby.
Let's get that sponsorship. FK Irons,
Yeah,
a SEYER machine.
Shit.
Do you have an apprenticeship under you, or it's just you?
Oh, it's just me. I did have some apprentices. I mean, I never really did them until the past 3 years, maybe. But usually it's kind of hit and miss. Like it's kind of I would be taking my time to try to get someone in, but then since they're not making money, they kind of give up and they fall off, real quick. But that's one thing I always tell them, like, hey, don't look at this for the money. Like, I'm not charging you for an apprenticeship, so soak in wherever the fuck you can at that time. But I wouldn't let them tattoo. Wouldn't let them do much besides learning how to be sterile first,
Yeah.
Because when I did have a private studio, I did have 5 artists there, and I made it easier for the guys to just come in, get their tattoos done, and fucking leave, go home to your family. But the apprentice was there breaking down, fucking setting up. Sometimes they would take it personal and we're yelling, hey, come here, kind of gets to their head. They put their pride in front of them and they're like, fuck this. Like, I'm not gonna have someone yelling at me. Like, no one's yelling at you, dog.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a fucking job. Treat it like a job, But yeah, I have one that completed. It's homie Fernando, Fever Paint. He actually works here with us now. And he's a badass artist. He does a lot of pinstriping, and yeah, he completed his.
Sick.
Yeah, it took about a year,
Not everyone's gonna make it, man.
For sure, bro. And I'm glad he's still around. Like there's times where he wanted to give up, and it's just like, nah, bro. Like we're not gonna let you give up. Dog. Like just keep doing what you do. It'll get better. Just keep pushing. And he's still here, man. So that's good.
You need to get that SEYER ink pretty soon, bro.
Man, eventually, man. Eventually, everything takes time, So here we go. So with this one, this is real black. It's a full cap. This one I probably go about 80%, 90% black. Probably go about 40 to 30%. It's about 20% of the cap. and probably about 10%. And then I'll get my super white from Radiant. Just throw in a little bit in there. Boom, boom.
That's the first that I've seen someone apply
Somebody do-
white.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for the past maybe about 10 years. Yeah, there's so many different things. Like even this one guy used to work for Lonely Boy. I remember he would get the end of his bottles, ink bottles, his whites, and then throw a little bit of black and shake it up and use that as his water. You know, so he'll put distilled water, fill it up with black and white ink in there, and then instead of using distilled water, he'll just throw that to dilute. And I kind of messed with it, and I had a little. I kind of changed my drop systems every so often, but for this past 2 years, this has been working for me. And before I used to count the drops, but now I just kind of just eyeball it.
Putting you guys on game.
Right? If I can, I will. Yeah, if you guys ever want to message me, you have any questions, just get at me. All right, bam, bam.
There's no gatekeeping over here.
Not at all.
Maybe, you know, it's off topic, but why do you think some artists like to gatekeep?
Just, that's how it was back in the days, you know what I mean? And I don't know if they feel special or entitled to just doing that, but me growing up, I always wanted to learn. I always wanted to kind of know things. I didn't go or ask people what they did, you know? But I mean, if I could spread it and I could help out, I've always been willing to do that for artists. You know, people do ask me questions. I'll go on live and they'll ask me questions. I'll try to fulfill their questions as best as I possibly can. But with that, that's just not my style. So I stay in my own lane. I do what I do. And anyone has any questions, get at me.
And usually, how do you start? So this is a big piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you start from the bottom up?
Yeah, I always start from the bottom up. I'm going to probably start with this flower right here. Probably going to go in with the 5 round shader right now. Let's see. 5 round shader. Let's go. And I'm going to use a quadrant 5 round shader. Long taper. A lot of people use liners, but I feel the 5 round shaders are pretty sharp. And depending on how you use it or how deep you go, you can make it look like a basic liner. Use your edges. All right, let's get it cracking. All right, ready?
And for this, you'll start with the full black.
Yeah, right now, yeah, I'll do a full black. I'm not scared to use it, you know, but yeah, if I have to use my black, I'll go right in, man, without hesitating. So right now I'm still using my full black, pepper shade with it and everything.
What are some tips that you would give to artists that want to focus on black and gray?
Um, say don't hesitate on just trying things out. You know, there's things where I didn't know what I was doing when I first started tattooing, but I still put them into play as I'm tattooing, and for some reason it just works out. I might backstroke, I might use my machine going straight up to the side, use a little bit of everything. You know, there's no exactly right way of tattooing. Just give it a try. If it works for you, it works. You know, just keep pushing it. I'm pretty quick. It just comes with the experience for tattooing this long already. But like I said before, this piece used to take me at least about 12 hours. You know, today I'll probably get it done in maybe 5.5 hours, 6 hours, half the time. But that's just me knowing what I'm doing, using the right products, using the right machine that I'm comfortable with. That makes my job easier.
And what do you do right now still to educate yourself with tattooing?
I mean, I look at a lot of artists' pages on, look at their work. But at the end of the day, I'm my own worst critic. You know, so there's times where I'll spend after I'm done tattooing, I'll look at my videos of my tattoos and I try to point out what I could have did better on that piece, or like I said, I'm my own critic, and I'm kind of hard on that on myself. But I'm still learning to this day, and it's not gonna stop. You know.
Are there any tattoo artists that you look up to?
There's too many to say, but artists that I do look up to are the ones I work with, because we're the ones that are spending the most time with each other, kind of just helping each other out and trying to build ourselves up.
Who are some artists right now that are on your radar that you've been checking out their work?
Oh man, honestly, I don't know how to answer that one. There's so many that pop up, bro. But there's a lot of bad motherfuckers out
Yeah.
there, straight up.
Recently, there has to be like at least one or two.
Spooky D, like David Avelis, his work is fucking amazing. All his little details, and he is a sponsored artist with my product. But I trip out on how fucking on point he is with everything. It just looks so. He's a badass motherfucker. You're killing it, dog. Yeah, he's one of my top ones. There's a lot of like Steve Soto. There's Chente. There's AB. It's called Bob Tyrell. Bob Tyrell was a big one that I love the way he did his skulls and just that dark and crazy detail and cuts and creases. That was one of my main ones growing up. Because back then it was like skulls. Skulls were fucking badass. They were cool, yeah, to do to tattoo. And I was just amazed how detailed he got them. I didn't even know a tattoo could even be that detailed back then. But when I started coming into the game, I just started realizing more and more of these different artists and how the tattoo industry has just been evolving like pretty quick, pretty quick.
So how does your graffiti influence your work?
I mean, if it wasn't for graffiti, I mean, I wouldn't be here. But it influences because it built me, but it built my name. It built, my tattooing. If I didn't have graffiti, I probably wouldn't even be tattooing. It has a lot to do with it, bro. It influence and just keeps you on my toes. I'm still out there. I'm still bombing and doing pieces on freeways and every week. But it's a major part of my life. It made me who I am.
Never gonna stop.
Never, bro. Never.
Gonna be an old man over there
Right,
start
bro.
hitting the streets.
Fuck
You know.
yeah. Yeah, people are probably like, "Fuck, you're still doing it?" I'm like, "Fuck, like, hell yeah, I enjoy this, man.
It's in the
Like,
blood.
Fuck yeah, it is."
Let's talk
Pretty
about
cool.
something that's kind of rare. People don't really like to talk about
hmm
pricing your tattoos.
Okay. Pricing my tattoos. So before it was just anything and anything that I could get in and make some money. When I first started, say 4 years into my tattooing, as long as I went home with $100 a day, I think I would be okay. But things did blow up a bit more with the industry, and as more artists came along, and at times I would do my full days at 1,200. Then I went to 1,400, 1,600, 2,000. Now I'm at 2,400. But it all took time. It just didn't happen rapidly. It all took time, and within those years, though, I've always did specials, and I've always tried to work with people. Just to let everyone get a piece of the pie. But is it hard to get the premium prices which I used to get? Say right when COVID and all that money was just going crazy, people didn't give a fuck. They just threw it out there. It was a number, bam, let's get it, let's do it. But past 4 or 5 years, it kind of just slowed down drastically. And like I said, I've always done specials. So with that being said, I've always worked with people, and still to this day, I work with people. Even though my price is 2,400 for a full day, if you're consistent and you set up an appointment on a big piece, I'll give it to you for 1,600. As long as you're dropping a deposit after each session, yeah, I'm willing to work with you. You know what I mean? As long as I'm able to get my work out there, make you happy, and we all go home happy to our family, hey, that's all that matters to me.
And I think we talked a little bit earlier about this. How do you stay consistent? How do you keep yourself booked? What are you doing that's different right now?
That's different.
It's
So
keeping
what
you
I'm
booked.
doing now that's different, I'm actually paying someone to run my Facebook meta ads. They'll come in, and the homie Nate Morales, he comes in and he'll get good footage of me tattooing. Different sessions, he'll come in different days and just get footage. And then one day he'll come with these scripts, and I have to do voiceovers, and it's new to me, like I'm really bad at doing all that, but I'm trying my best. It's something new, and it's actually kind of fun. It is kind of fun. And it's helping me get the premium price that I feel I deserve. You know, because before I used to be tattooing $800 full days. So if I did 3 full days in one day, that makes 2,400, which is my actual full day. I'm overworking myself, you know, but I'm kind of tired of overworking myself. I need to give more time to my family. I need to give more time to my actual client, not feel like I have to rush anything. But with him doing everything that he's doing for me right now, it's working. It's working, and it's new, and I'm ready for the next one. You know?
Nice. Oh yeah, who do you want to give a shout out to?
First, I'd like to give a shout out to my mom. You know, she helped me a lot. You know, I remember I did my first expo at 18. She drove me all the way out to Loftley. You know, I didn't have a car back then. She drove me out there, and I did it with Tattoo Angels, and she helped me. She pushed me, you know, to do this. And thank you for not giving up on my dream, and especially my kids for keeping me on my toes, and just, you know, everyone that I worked with through all these years, just for keeping a brotherhood alive and keeping in contact with each other, and, you know, still touching in with our, keeping in touch with our peoples, you know. So it's been a long journey, and man, just thankful to still have those people in my life. Just want to give a shout out to everyone who's watching this, you know. I appreciate you guys' time and taking the time to just kind of get to know me a little bit better. And stay tuned, because shit's about to get buck wild, you know. And just thank you guys. Salute you.
That's right. Last question. Was it all worth it?
It's all worth it, bro. Like you said, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't change shit, you know. Um, I said it's a blessing in disguise, bro. I didn't I didn't know that me just coming into this would just naturally just fall into place. Yeah, there was a lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of headaches, a lot of anxiety, a lot of times wanting to give up, you know. But I'm just glad I didn't, you know, and I'm thankful to be here and to be tattooing still to this day, 22 years later.